Hello and good evening. Evening. Okay. I hope, I hope, I hope our table is visible. It's my light. I hope my table is visible. Is visible. Is it visible? I hope my lighting is okay. Good evening, all, and welcome to our live class for today. So, guys, you're welcome. Oh, these children. You're welcome to our live class. So let me know in the comment section if you can hear me, please. If you can hear me, I want to know if you can hear me. Oh, these children. Can you hear me? Please let me know in the comment section so that we can start. We can go straight into our tutorial for today. So, guys, so in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut this Queen Anne sweetheart neckline. So I had to just snap it. So can you see? So this is what we are going to learn how to do today. In case you don't know how to cut the top part, we are going to be learning how to do that in today's live class. So I have some measurements here. Let me write them on my table, or that's on my pattern, so that we'll work with them. So let me just write them down. So these are the patterns. So this is the back piece. So I was thinking I should just go straight into our front piece for today. So I'll just, so this is just basically what we are going to be learning how to do. I'm just trying to show you guys how to convert your patterns. I'm just thinking out loud. That's just it. What I'm trying to do right now. I'm just trying to think out. Okay. So I'm just going to do this. Let's just do it. Let me show you guys how to transfer it. That's how to, if you have a basic bodice, how to use it. Let me just show you first. I'm going to still draft this from the beginning, but let's just use this, okay? While we wait for more people to join the stream. Thank you so much, Vivian. Okay, so for instance, now this is a back panel. You understand? So this is a back panel. And if you notice, this is a basic bodice. Do you understand? This is a basic body. So this basic bodice, now if I want to turn it, I just want to if I want to alter this back panel, and then I want to turn it to a bustier for the front panel, I can actually do that. If I want to take this back, this basic bodice, now you can just see it's just a simple basic bodice. If I want to turn it, like I said, if I want to turn it into a front panel, now let's see. So let's just see how I will do this. If I want to turn it into a bust, I want to try and turn it to this, okay? So that's what I just want to do right now. Let's see. So this is our bust point, this is our under bust. So for the under bust, this is already half inch. So for this, if you want to do something like that, I'm just going to come to this point like this. And then, for instance, let's say I'll take 1 inch or 1.5 inch. So that 1.5 inch, I'm going to curve it like this, okay? I'll curve this way. And then I'll come to the down part. I'll mark 1 inch. And then I would connect this like this. This is not our class for today. I'm just showing you guys how to use your pattern. You understand? For instance, you have a basic bodice and then you want to turn it into a bustier. So that's just basically what I'm trying to do here. So this is not like what we are doing today. And then I'm going to come to the chest line. I'll extend this chest line like this. When I extend this chest line, I can now mark this way, okay? So for instance, if I want this part to cover properly, I can extend from my bust point. I can take it up by like 3 inches, okay? So when I take this up by like 3 inches, I would mark this, and then I'll extend this that line. So I'll extend this, okay? And then on this part, I'll tighten this part. So like I said, this is not like our, okay, I think a curve will be better for this. Okay. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do now, I want to try and check for our queen Anne. So that's like 4 inches, 3.5 inches. So that 3.5 inches, I'm just going to mark it. I'll connect it to this part like this. And then this I would. So this is what I want to do. So like I said, I'm just thinking out loud. So don't mind me. Don't mind me. So now let's start our tutorial for today. So I'm just checking this. I'm just playing around with my patterns. I'm just showing you guys how to actually play around with your patterns like this, and then like this. Yeah. So this is it. So this part is cleaned off. So this is it. This is what we want to do. But I just used pattern to do this. But let's continue. Okay. So first of all, let's draft the back pattern. So for the back pattern, we're going to use this our already made pattern to draft our back pattern. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is for us to mark all of our lines. So like I said, you can see the lines, they're already visible, but I'm just going to explain them to you. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do from this point, we're going to mark our bust point. So this is our bust point line, which is 10. Our under bust is 13. Our waist is 16. And then we have, so for this, we're going to stop at 17 inches because it is an half cut. So I'll just connect all of those lines like that. And then this is my waist. And then this is my bust point. And then this is my shoulder line. So I'm just showing you guys should watch and understand what I'm trying to do. So from this part, I'm going to come down from for my shoulder slope. I'll come down by 1 inch, okay? And then when I come down by 1 inch, I'm going to connect that 1 inch this way. Can you see? And then I'll rule this line like this. I'm using 8 inches for my chest line. So I'll just mark it like that. So this is going to be my chest line, my bust, my chest line, my bust point, my under bust, and then my waist or my half cut. So these are the lines. So the next thing we're going to do is just for us to add, to mark our full measurement. Okay. So for the full measurement, our bust is 36. So 36 divided by 4, we have 9 inches. And then we'll add 1 inch for our dart, then 2 inches for allowance. So that's the point. And then our under bust is 30. You divide 30 into 2 into 4. Sorry, you have 7.5, 8.5, and then 10.5. So 1 inch for that and 2 inches for stitching allowance. And then we'll come to the waistline, which is 30. 32. 32 divided by 4, we have 8 inches, 1 inch for that, and 2 inches for allowance. So can you see? So that is how we came up with this beautiful pattern like this. So the next thing is for us to take our dart. So for the dart, I'm going to come to the waist part. I'll take half inch to my right and then half inch to my left. So before then, I'll just rule this line. So this line is my bust span measurement. That is what I use, which is 4. Can you see? 4 inches. So from this part, you just take this. So from here now, what I am going to do here, so this is my waist measurement. So I'll just mark it like this and then I will connect this like this. So that down part is not necessary though, but that's all for my piece. So let me cut this out. So it's not looking too much. So for this I actually used 17 inches for, so I used 17 inches, okay. So that is what I use for my back panel. So for this kind of queen and for the back neckline, you can decide to use, we are using 3.5 inches. So this is 3.5 inches. And then for the length, you can use, depends on how deep you want. So let's do 2.5 inches. That's 3.5 by 2.5. Like seriously. And then I am just going to use my pencil. I would, so I'll connect that. So that is all for our back piece, okay. So you can see, let me bend down, oh, and pick my marker. So this is all we have for our back. So for the skirt, you can see this is how the skirt is going to look like. Can you see? So for the skirt is a normal skirt. So this is the skirt pattern. I'm not going to draft the skirt pattern in this class. So you are just going to use your normal simple straight skirt pattern for this. So this is our basic skirt. So just now before we started, for those of you that are just joining us and are wondering, I actually showed you how to alter your pattern, your basic bodice pattern, how to use it for any form, okay. So the next thing we're going to do, we are going to draft our front piece. So for the front piece, I am going to cut open, I want to use one piece of my pattern paper. These days pattern paper are getting expensive, and this one I'm using is a good quality paper. You can see it's very strong. Okay, so now we're going to start our dress, our main tutorial for tonight, okay. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to use the same measurements that we use. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to mark our shoulder line. If you're just joining us, you're welcome. Please hit on the like button. So that line is going to be my shoulder line. So from that line, I'm going to mark my 10 inches point. So this is for my bust point, and then 13 inches for my under bust, and then I am using 17 inches as my half cut, okay. So those are all of those marks, and I am going to join all of them with my, I'm going to join all of them with with a straight line, yeah. Where you're watching me from, hit on the like button, I would appreciate that. So the next thing we are going to do now, at this point, we are going to mark our shoulder line. So shoulder line, we're going to divide our shoulder by 2. For this we're using 14, which is 7, and then you add half inch as stitching allowance. From that point you're going to come down by 1 inch, just like what I was explaining to you guys now with the back piece, and then you connect that. So from this point you're going to mark half is going to be 8. You point it down, just mark it down, and then you are going to connect this like this, and then this 8 inches line is going to serve as our chest line. So now we can go and label chest line, bust point, under bust, half cut or waist. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take half of this our 8 inches mark, which is 4. So I'm coming by like a quarter of an inch, and then create a curve for my armhole this way. Okay. So after doing this, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use my bust span. Remember the bust span we used, which was 8 inches, divide by 2, that's 4. So I'm just going to mark these 4 inches across all of these lines now. So after marking them across all of my lines, I'm going to join them with my straight ruler like this. Okay. My under bust, I want to take out a of 2 inches. So I'll mark my 2 inches here this way, and then I'm going to connect that 2 inches to my bust point. Just take a good look at how I am placing my pattern curve and then curving it out. Can you see? This is a simple process. And then I'm going to come down. I'll mark 1.5 inch down for my dart. Remember, I used 2 inch at that point, but down. So can you see? You see how the shape is looking like. So the next thing we want to do now, we want to create that bustier, that sweetheart neckline. Can you see? So if you notice, this one is not joined, is together with the neckline. So it is a simple process. So the next thing we're going to do, we are going to extend this line a little bit. Okay. So in extending this line a little bit, we can decide to come up by 2 inches or 1.5. So let's do 1.5 inches. So that 1.5, I'm just going to mark it that way. And then I would connect it with a straight ruler this way, just to define what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come to this point like this. I want to tighten this part. So I'm doing just one side. So I'll just use half of an inch on this point like this. And then that half of an inch, I'm going to place my pattern curve nicely. I'm just trying to look for a way to place it nicely.